Okay, I'll record one more here before I quit. This is also from June, the 6th day of June, the first one of that day, and the Mayan day was 11 Monkey. Fear feeds the dark side. Let's open our eyes. Being in 3D can certainly be uncomfortable. I've been sort of struggling with pain this last day or so. It's not pleasant. Hopefully, it softens us, though, into deeper understanding and tolerance of and for those who endure these things. Life isn't so easy for them or for us in the midst of this. Then, too, there's the heat of summer to contend with. I love most things. I welcome everything. Yet, I admit that I don't like closing my blinds against the hot morning sun, as it interferes with my beautiful morning rainbows here in this room. The sun giveth, the sun taketh away. Funny that. Seeking balance in the midst of it all. That's a good thing, I guess. I don't really do it. I just find it being done in my life. Tough one to explain. One loses the I in a very real sense when one is being danced. As the dance, where is an I? What is an I anyway? Oh well, I don't think we'll be answering that big question this bright hot morning. That question's been around about forever, and there's no good answer that I know of. The neti of Asia is probably the best reply. Not that, not that. We can fairly clearly realize what the I is not. What it is quite another matter. Undefinable. I'll settle for that. So, we're definitely not the body, nor the mind, nor emotions either, though they may be closer to who and what we are than the others. The Pleiadians, through Marciniak, say that our greatest wealth is our emotions. I'll go for that. Makes sense to me, for I can see it. I watch it every day, and it amazes me. This watching, this observing thing is everything they promised it would be, by the way. Now, that is probably nothing. No promise is made for it. But it is so very fruitful once you're ready for it that it's quite amazing. Just getting ourselves settled down into the moment, the present moment, is such a challenge, though. It takes some real setting of determined intent to come into that space of the now and remain and abide. Until we can be there, observation is too challenging. We're all over the place in our consciousness. We're too spread out. Into the future in desires, plans, and dreams. Into the past in regrets or the seeking of understanding of what has happened. Like I said, almost anywhere but now. That's how we're manipulated to be. And that's how they want us, unaware. You'd better believe they, the dark ones, the controllers, know the value of the present moment. They use it against us all the time, trying to be sure we're not in it. As the gateway to all that is to higher consciousness, they don't want us being there. We might discover something that'll help us slip out of their clutches. No, can't have that. Oh, no, no. Well, my friends, we're constantly coming into our power, our new abilities these days. Call it the effects of cosmic radiation, now able to penetrate the atmosphere due to the degradation of our magnetic field, or even our sun's own radiation, likewise penetrating more fully than ever before in our lives. Call it anything you will. Heck, call it the will of God, for it is also quite clearly that. that we awaken now. Whatever you do, though, please open your eyes to this, for it is happening not only all around you, but within you as well. You too are awakening, at least in potential, no matter who you might be. Now, do realize that I know who my audience is. Those not awakening have no use for such blogs. It's all a matter of free will, of how you set your intent. God, if there is a God, but let's call it Source. Source is deeply respectful of our free will. Source watches our intent closely to see what we're after, what we're desiring. Did you know it is Source's great delight to provide that for us? Do you realize that Source actually wants to please us? Oh, please do throw over those religiously created images of God. There's not much of light or of truth in them. It's quite okay to let them go as well, because it simply is what it is. Source or God is what it is, and what we think or feel about that is wholly irrelevant to it, in the sense that our thoughts and feelings about it don't change what it is. It just is. Now, if we want to get close to Source, it helps if we have some truth to work with, to follow back to the source, so to speak. Truth is ultra-powerful in this way. It is also self-intelligent, but we'll leave that for another day, perhaps. Anyway, many of the religions were either created to throw us off track and get us worshiping something that was not the true source, the true God, far from what the originators intended. Or those religions were manipulated so terribly down through the centuries, the millennia, that the original founders can no longer be found in them, would no longer respect what they've become. Bottom line, they lead you off track. You don't hit the mark, find the source with them. You go somewhere else, and the Illuminati like it this way. Well, once you find and become loyal to what you find within heart space, all that starts to change. Why? Because you begin to have a direct line to Source.